This is part of why cases like Patricia Meehan continue haunting people decades later. In 1989, Patricia Meehan was driving near Circle, Montana when she was involved in a crash. Witnesses saw her after the accident. That part is important because Patricia did not simply disappear without anyone seeing her again. Multiple people reportedly observed her behaving strangely after the collision. Some accounts describe confusion, others describe detachment, almost as if she were physically present but psychologically somewhere else entirely. And then she walked away. No confirmed trace afterward, no verified explanation, no definitive resolution. Cases like this immediately split public opinion. Some people believe foul play occurred shortly afterward. Others believe Patricia experienced some kind of psychological break, dissociation, injury, or confusion after the crash itself. And what makes these cases difficult is that both possibilities can coexist within the realm of plausibility. As an attorney, one thing I always try to emphasize in unresolved cases is the difference between possibility and proof. The public often fills emotional gaps with certainty long before evidence actually supports it. People naturally create narratives because uncertainty feels unbearable, but unresolved cases rarely behave clearly, especially when human behavior under stress enters the equation. Because trauma does strange things to people, fear does strange things to people, shock does strange things to people, and after crashes specifically, people do not always behave rationally. There are documented cases where individuals with head injuries walk significant distances while disoriented. There are cases involving panic responses, fight or flight activation, substance use, sleep deprivation, mental health crises, fear of consequences, paranoia, disassociation. None of that automatically explains any one case, but it does remind us that human beings under extreme stress can behave in ways that appear deeply irrational to outside observers. And that brings us to another case that continues to fascinate people, Brandon Lawson. Brandon's case exploded online largely because of the now infamous 911 call. People analyzed it endlessly, every pause, every word, every sound in the background. Some listeners believed Brandon was being chased. Others believed he was experiencing paranoia. Others thought he may have encountered someone after leaving his truck. And what makes these audio analysis cases difficult is that people often hear what they emotionally expect to hear. The human brain is designed to create patterns from ambiguity, especially when fear is involved, especially when someone is already missing. And once the internet collectively locks into a theory, it can become difficult to separate speculation from evidence. But emotionally, people become deeply attached to these cases because they feel unfinished. There is no emotional landing place, no clear villain, no courtroom moment, no final chapter, just unanswered questions lingering year after year. And perhaps no abandoned car case demonstrates that more publicly than Maura Murray. Maura's disappearance became one of the most discussed missing person cases in modern internet culture. Entire communities formed around theories, podcasts, forums, documentaries, armchair investigations, and still, decades later, people continue debating what happened. Did she voluntarily leave the scene? Did someone pick her up? Did she succumb to the environment? Was another person involved? Again, uncertainty dominates the landscape, and uncertainty keeps people emotionally invested. Because unresolved cases psychologically invite participation, people feel compelled to solve them, to finish the story, to identify the missing piece. And sometimes the intense public investment helps cases, but other times it creates mythologies around real human beings. This is one of the difficult balances of true crime, especially ethical true crime. Because behind every mystery is an actual person, an actual family, actual grief, actual unresolved pain. And families often remain trapped in emotional limbo for decades. No confirmed death, no confirmed survival, no definitive answers, just suspended grief. Psychologists sometimes call this ambiguous loss. It is one of the most painful forms of grief because the mind cannot fully settle into resolution. There is no emotional certainty, no ability to completely mourn, no ability to completely hope. Families often exist somewhere painfully in between. And when you study these abandoned car disappearances long enough, you start noticing another pattern. Many of them begin in incredibly ordinary ways: a drive home, a late night trip, a roadside stop, a missed appointment, a car found unexpectedly. Then suddenly, everything changes. That contrast is what makes these cases so psychologically unsettling. Thank you for tuning in to Grace and Gavel, where truth meets compassion. My name is Buffy. I'm an almost 18-year criminal defense attorney. And I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you got value from this, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.